You're listening to the best of ITW, brought to you by Popguide and WikiLeaf.
The new and deadly menace lurking behind closed doors. Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell.
On this episode, ITW welcomes comedian, writer, and show host, Ali Beardsly.
We have Ali Beardsly, comedian, actor, improv. I don't know. I'm going to say guru, improv guru, formerly or affiliated, but maybe still a bit affiliated with College Humor.
Yeah.
This was a really great episode, and this is one where I feel like I actually had the opportunity to interview Ali twice. We did this one, and then
right.
as well for Mass Nerder.
That's
and
right.
so the other podcast that wasn't doing much. during the
Such
thing.
a cool, interesting, super fucking fun person.
Yeah.
Seriously, I had such a good time that
Yeah.
day.
We got super baked with Ali too.
We did get super baked with Allie.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, that was a good day. Such a cool person to meet. Just amazing perspective and just genius humor, genius level humor.
Absolutely. And I know because follow Ali on Twitter. I can't remember the handle, but just look up. We'll post it in the YouTubes and all that kind of stuff. You'll be able to find it, no problem. Constant hilarious commentary on the ongoings of the world,
Nonstop.
and from being from the perspective of a non-binary comedian.
And Allie knew what was up with Riverside, California, and the Voodoo Glow Skulls. Dude. Ooh.
Yeah,
Allie's from the same town as the Voodoo Glow Skulls.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Kind of cool.
We were talking about them yesterday and being like, we don't see a ton of College Humor stuff out right now.
We're talking about.
You know, I wonder if they are writing some show that we don't even know about that's out there.
Some of the stuff that would be great. Some stuff has lived on. They had College Humor had a good Dungeons and Dragons show. I think that's still going. It was like people got high and played Dungeons and Dragons and got really into it.
That's funny.
And I think that survived in some manner. But I hope so. College Humor was great. College Humor had a huge impact on the early days of the internet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was kind of like one of those sites like the Chive or something like that.
The Chive, Funny or Die.
Funny or
the
Die.
Three big ones.
Yeah. I think College Humor was a little before Funny. I think College Humor was almost like maybe the first one because I believe College Humor got bought by National Lampoons or vice versa. Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah,
I think that's how that worked.
They were an aggregate site almost in the beginning, weren't they?
Yeah, maybe. They always did their own kind of stuff. They weren't as much UGC as Funny or Die was. I know that, user generated content. But I know you could submit because I know we submitted to videos and stuff like that. But yeah. And I know it was a great thing. Know who Ryan, my friend Ryan, he helped a lot in the early days of that. That would be a good person to ask. But anyway, check out Ali on Twitter. Always funny. Very cool perspective, and a real pleasure to have had the opportunity to interview twice now, once here and once on Mass Nerder. Hope you and everyone enjoy this show in Listenerville.
Allie, let's do it again.
Please. Yeep. The funniest thing about when people make fun of how small Canada is, like South Park, when they're like, "We're just going to take the road to Ottawa." It's like there is only one road to Ottawa, and it's the Trans-Canada Highway. You know, there's not a lot you can really do when they're fucking picking on you like that. You're like, well, it's true. Yeah. And then one of the first things I said at your show to a dude is I bumped him. I'm like, "Oh, sorry, buddy," and I was like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Don't apologize.
But
Every 2 words is sorry.
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 It's also
Sorry about that.
He's been claiming racism because he's all Ephraim's just been picking on Canadians every day since I've been here. Because all I do is rag on Canadian stuff.
Yeah, it does happen though. all the time. Where did you grew up? Where did you? Oh, Riverside. We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Riverside.
So I grew up it's Riverside County, but I grew up in Paris,
Oh yeah.
which I never say because people immediately think like Paris, France, and they give me a look of like, oh, you're so, like I can see the glow growing. They're like, oh, you're from Paris, and then I have to be like, it's not. It's so far from Paris, France.
Are you familiar with Paris?
I'm very familiar.
yeah.
George and Eddie's weed shop is in Paris.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Paris, California, not far from Lake Paris.
Yep, Lake Paris. Beautiful.
Lake Paris.
It's a really cool
It's actually
area.
really nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
There's a festival on Lake Paris now, a music festival. They just moved it there from Joshua Tree, Desert Days.
Desert Days is in Paris now?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, it's so rad. Oh,
Wow,
familiar
Desert
with
Days is sick.
Phil, and
Oh
all
yeah,
them?
yeah. Been
I
a few times, but
Desert Days
having
is
that
the
be in
best.
Paris is really funny.
Isn't that crazy? It was the last one was in Paris, and you know what? It was great. It was right on the lake. Shout out Desert Days and Phil. And
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah. Hook us
cool. I
up
don't know
with
what
some
Desert Days
tickets.
is.
Oh, it's an incredible music festival.
It's really good.
I create the artist experience.
Do you?
Do you really?
Curate it. Yeah, me and
No
my cousin.
way.
Yeah, I do.
What the fuck? I had no
Yeah.
idea. I've
Yeah.
gone with some bands like that I'm friends with and gotten to like
I will be
carted
curating
around.
it again next year. I'll look
so
for you.
sick. Yeah.
Come
I'll
on
be
by.
around.
We'll take care of you with some treats. And
Oh, I would appreciate it. Yeah.
yes.
That's
But
so sick.
yeah. Wow.
That's
And
so cool.
Paris, California. Riverside has had a long history of like entertainment and music, and people kind of don't
Yeah.
even see that.
True.
And then we were talking about this the other night with George and Eddie that from what I understand way back that Riverside was kind of like the Palm Springs of the time. Like movie stars would go there
Cool.
for their hideaways. You're from a dope town.
That's so sick. I had no idea. I mean, you grow up in a place and you're like, this fucking place. There's
Oh,
like two
yeah, yeah.
McDonald's and the Target, and that's
I'm
where I
gonna
hang
leave and
out.
never look back.
Yeah, exactly.
Did Pig Fest? Did that take place in Riverside?
That was like in San Bernardino County.
What is
It was-
Pig Fest?
was
It's
like
a story I was told on this week.
Oh, yeah, they had these shows with all these punk bands and
Oh,
and, yeah, and
cool.
Voodoo played and like, but it was on this like ranch, and then all the cops came and raided it, and it turned into a riot, and they started shooting people with rubber bullets. It was crazy, yeah.
No!
But
Oh my God.
yeah. It was crazy, tear gas and
What the fuck?
me and a little bug just trying to get out of there, driving down to the ranch. But at any rate, Riverside's crazy.
Riverside is crazy.
Now it sounds crazy.
Now, moving on, you know, you're not in Riverside anymore.
Yeah.
So now,
I have the advantage. I got to interview Ali for an interview earlier this month, I think, even, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I think it was.
About Paranoia, your new show.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to have both of you guys on it. Please come.
Really?
by. Yeah, please. If
Oh,
we
we'll
do
fuck
another
it.
season, I would
Let's
love
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
100%. The show looks so fucking fun.
Yeah.
So let's get into that. I know, but just tell us about Paranoia, because I don't want to miss anything. So I know you know your
Yeah.
talking points, because I already know.
Dude, for sure. Yeah, so work let me pretty much just make any show I wanted. And I was like, oh, I want to make a weed show. And I want to figure out a way to make kind of like a gauntlet for weed smokers. So kind of like, oh yeah, you like smoking weed, but are you good at it? It's like what this show is going to test. Yeah. So pretty much we take like that party game, like social game, werewolf or mafia. People call it different things. So it's like you got 8 friends sitting around in a circle. 2 people find out secretly that they're like the killers. And once around, everyone closes their eyes. 2 people wake up and they eliminate people one by one from the group. But in between that, everyone gets to talk and kind of see if they saw anything fishy and try to point out who those people are. That's the party game. What we added is now those 2 people just had to hit a gravity bomb. So they're trying to hide the fact that they're like fucking next level stoned. What? And trying to like, you know, keep it on the down low that they're like setting people out of the game. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much what it is. Each episode is like, 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how long the game goes. We film the whole thing beforehand. We ask everyone like their relationship with weed. And we get everything from like, I smoke weed every day to I haven't smoked in 8 years. And we don't rig it. I want everyone to know we truly, sincerely let it be random. But man, that person who hasn't smoked in 8 years almost always gets the stoner card and has to hit a gravity bong.
And gravity bongs are no fucking joke.
No. What did you say you call them? Pails?
Pails. We call them pails or buckets at home.
Oh, yeah.
Canadians. I barely understand half of what you're saying now, man. Like,
No, like me and as soon as I saw it, because like they're not as frequently used at home because they fucking crush you. But me and my brother from our other podcast, Mass Nerd, like that's what we smoke. Like we have it at our mom's house when we go to visit our mom. We have
so when you do that, you're smoking pails on that podcast?
Yeah. No.
Why do you do that?
Yeah.
No, not before that podcast. That podcast, like, because we'd be fucked. Like,
that'd be great.
You got to see Paranoia. It doesn't go good for them.
Yeah.
But we've always done it. And our moms, we have like a little consumption lounge in the basement and a little walk-in clinic.
My mom's have a little consumption lounge. Like,
it's cold out in Canada, dude.
But you sound so legal. Like,
welcome to the consumption lounge. Do you have a reservation?
Hey man, it's my mom's basement where I get stoned.
We have
a little
So political sounding.
Welcome to the consumption lounge.
Well,
may I see your identification?
Next time
please?
you're in fucking Canada.
Are you old enough to enter the
Next time
consumption lounge?
you're in fucking Canada, dude. Next time you're in Canada, you're going to see the consumption lounge at my mom's. And you're going to say, this is very lounge-like. And then you're going to consume weed, and you're going to fucking feel like a dick.
And you're going to put that foot right in your mouth, buddy.
Remember, I want to get into fucking Air Bud.
I'm going to get there. Oh, you don't even know. Air Bud.
So,
Woo! Ben has an idea for an Air Bud reboot.
I have an idea for an Air Bud reboot, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but the more important part is that Ephraim made fun of me one day on this show because I was like, sometimes I get high and like I like to watch Air Bud trailers because they're funny as fuck. But then Ephraim's like, nobody does that, and I was like, oh yeah, watch this. And then I played him the show. I played the fucking trailer on the show, and he was fucking dying. And I'm like,
there's so much I missed.
That's so funny.
Like when everybody puts their hands in the pot.
and then the pop-ups in. But the best part, my friend, is when the rival coach goes, won't somebody watch that dog? Won't somebody please cover that dog?
Yeah.
It's true.
Nobody could catch the dog.
My friend has such a good bit about that. She's like, think about the kid on the other team who just got beat by a dog. And like no ref stood up for that. They were like, this isn't fine. You just lost to a team that had a dog on it.
Yeah. A dog that can fucking shoot fucking 3-pointers like a motherfucker. Yeah.
I'm like losing my mind.
Ephraim's laughing so hard he's smashing the table if you listen to some noise.
My mind right now. Air Bud. We talked about the gangster one, Air Blood.
Air Blood would be good. No, mine, like, I'm working on the name, but like Air Bud, you know, I think you could revive it with CBD. And,
Oh, that'd be great.
you know, and
This time he means business.
No. The working title is Bark in the Game, like back in the game, but I don't think it's as good.
Back in the game.
Bark in the Game, whatever. Don't worry.
Game. Wow.
Don't worry.
I'm sure you'll workshop
It's
it.
a passion project.
Reboot.
You got to spend your life doing something.
Yeah.
I agree.
So when did you? So you grew. So how? Now I'm all fucking discombobulated because you fucking made fun of my consumption lounge.
We left
at my
off
mom's.
that you
Pails.
no longer live in Riverside.
Yeah, so pails. We call them pails and we call them buckets. But you get these people fucking high as fuck on gravity bongs and then making them
pails.
compete. And how many shows? How many shows are in the season? You've done season one.
So we got one season that we're done with. Best shooting days of my life. It was just so fun to be like on set and watching who had to get stoned and try to like win the game.
Wow.
We have 10 episodes. The thing is called Dropout. So it's dropout.tv.
Yeah.
That's like where they're letting us just make whatever we want.
Yeah, and so Dropout, that's like a division of College Humor?
Yeah. So everyone at College Humor just made Dropout so that we could have like bigger budgets and do like a better shows, you know?
Okay, and then College Humor was fully supportive kind of thing?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that like became my job. And so we made one season and it's out right now. Like the first episode is free on YouTube. So that's nice. Like anyone can watch it. And then if you want to watch more, we got 10 of them. Like
And Dropout, it's a subscription model, right?
Yeah,
It's cheap
exactly.
though. It's like it's not
it's
very
really
much.
like $3 a month or something
Yeah.
if you do the annual one. I'm sure, I feel like the future of TV is like all these bundles. Like
Yeah.
they're just gonna get, like ESPN, fucking Netflix, two others, and you buy that bundle. So hopefully we'll be in that soon.
Is it an app right now?
It is an app, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I feel like College Humor, and like correct me totally if I'm wrong, because obviously College Humor is a huge brand and it's been around for a long time. But I feel like maybe in the past few years they've done a really good job at like kind of rebranding themselves with a lot of young comics and a lot of young creators.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very true. It's people have commented on that too. Like if you watch like an old College Humor video, it's like bro-y. Like
Yeah.
I have a friend and she's like, yeah, I was in a College Humor video where my role was just hot girl. And I just showed up and I was just a hot girl. And I'm like, I can't imagine a sketch like in current day College Humor where it's just like we cast like a hot girl to just be there. That's insane,
Yeah,
That's like some man show shit.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it was like that, and I mean, there was always good things. College Humor always had really fun games and things like that.
Yeah.
But as
for sure.
as I got to know you and about you, and then I started to kind of see like I'm DBing you and do all this kind of stuff. You see like because you started around 2015, I think.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, and then how did that come to be? Like, did you get scouted? Like, was it an A&R thing? Did you apply? How did that work?
Yeah, it was like, well, I mean,
How do young stoners at home start making stuff for college?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good question. It starts with weed. Like I was just in the comedy community, like here in LA. Like that was
Right.
my life, going to shows, writing shows, and doing like improv and stuff like that. And then College Humor had me in a bunch of their sketches, like in a row, and just kind of kept having me back. And then they were like, hey, we're hiring. You should apply. So then I made like, I put my best foot forward.
Wow.
I sent them like 3 sketches and then a video. And
Fully
then all
shot or scripts?
this scripts. Yeah,
cool.
not fully shot.
Wow.
And then, then they hired me and like 2 other people, and it was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so did you know these 2 other people? Was it kind of like a crew of you?
No, I didn't know the 2 other people.
What?
So that was cool. It was like, we all started on the same day and we're like, hey, I guess we work here now. Fuck. It's
That's
like,
cool.
Yeah, it's like winning the lottery. Like you don't get paid for comedy that often,
Right.
It's kind of like you got to struggle and do stand-up open mics and just kind of like grind. And then this was like, hey, have a full-time job and make any show you want. Oh, you like weed? Yeah, make a weed show. I'm like, where am I? Like, this is like a dream.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Your first, what like you, because what was the student loan show? What was it called again? Sorry, refresh me.
No worries. Total Forgiveness.
Total Forgiveness. Tell us about that, because this show is fucking interesting as shit.
Okay. So they let me make 2 shows. I made the weed show, and then I made a show about how many, like, I have insane student loan debt from going to college, and so did my buddy. And so we were like, okay, like we asked them, we're like, can you give us dares for student loan payments? So we were like, you tell us to jump out of a helicopter, we do it. You give us like so many student loan payments.
And you're asking the general public, right?
We were asking our boss.
Oh, your
to
boss.
Do this.
Okay.
And our boss was like, that's completely unethical. He's like, I'm not going to torture 2 people who have debt. Like, absolutely not hard, no. So then we came back and repitched it. And we were like, what if we give each other the dares? So then it's only us, like, quote unquote, torturing each other. And then we developed this, like, rule where, like, so the money amount goes up each time. The first one was for $500. The last one was for $10,000. Just one dare. So it's also 10 episodes. Whoa. And if you fail, the other person gets that money. So you could win double, on the last one. So we made that whole show, and that whole show's out there. Mm-hmm. I like our model. We pretty much put the first episode in full for free on YouTube. Sure. So people can be like, is this tight or no? And then we put the rest of it behind a paywall. So yeah,
that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that one was sick, and that one got crazy.
I don't want to spoil it for you. Yeah, I guess we can't spoil it.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I'll spoil one. All right, because
Really?
the whole show is so good. But I'll just show you this.
What does it say?
There's a tattoo in scripture that says,
It says Sophia, which is a girl that I had been dating for 2 weeks. He made me get a neck tattoo of her name. And we had been dating for 2 weeks, and she had to go also to this tattoo parlor.
oh, and you had to convince Sophia to do it as well.
Exactly.
Did she
It
do
was
it?
nuts. She went and she did it. And I did it, and I got the money. And now I have a fucking tattoo.
Do you still know her?
Yeah, we're still dating, so that's...
Oh, that's
Hey!
okay.
Maybe it was the best thing that happened.
And then I never saw her ever again.
Yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
what? Yeah.
And then she ghosted me. It was crazy. No, no, we're still together.
That's good. Well, I mean, it would be a lot worse, but that's 2 weeks. That's a commitment.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey, it worked out.
Yeah, luckily
panned
she's also a comedian. I don't think it
really?
would have worked any other way.
Yeah.
Right.
A normal person being like, "You're gonna what?" So
I woke up with a girl's name on my ankle once.
Really?
Yeah.
No joke.
no way.
Swear.
Which name?
Jameson. It's in a little heart on my ankle. We were all at the tattoo shop wasted, woke up, had to call this dude and be like, hey, bro, I think your girlfriend tattooed her name on my ankle last night in your shop. And then he was just like, that's great.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I got
True story.
I got
True story.
I got on this ankle down here. I got a really shitty drawing of our old merch guy.
That's awesome.
Oh my god. Bravo. It looks like Mr. Rogers.
I'm not the best artist.
I think we both have a few trinkets.
Yeah.
I have "I'm awesome" spelled wrong on purpose on my ankle.
Oh, really?
my
Yeah,
God.
me and Jason Freeze.
Oh, wow.
3-day keyboard player.
God.
There was 4 of us. We all tattooed each other wrong on purpose.
Nice.
Yeah, great idea. Moving on.
Moving
That's
on.
great.
Growing up, so we got to find out how you got into weed in the first place, because that's the point of this podcast.
Right.
Did you try it young? I know. We kind of touched base on it the last interview we did with you, I did with you, and you just kind of laughed and said, "Trust me, I'm a friend of weed." I was like, "Okay,
Wow.
fair enough."
Wow.
Well, it's hard to kind of like straddle the professional, whatever side. So on that particular call, it was you, me, and our PR representative all on the same call. And I was just kind of like, dude, I don't know.
Diego seems loose. Shout out Diego. He's all right.
Yeah, it's true. But no, yeah, I've been smoking. There was a huge gap there because I was raised incredibly religious, which is very that area. It's a lot of mega churches, fucking McMansions, and motocross guys.
Right? Yeah.
That's the vibe. Construction workers. So yeah, I didn't smoke anything. I didn't drink. I didn't do a bunch of stuff. Which in hindsight, I'm kind of like, oh, that's cool. My brain was developing, and I just didn't touch it.
Were you around it?
No, yeah. It's what's so crazy.
Around in your life?
It was. I always liked smoking. I would steal my dad's cigars and stuff like that. Yeah. Once I stole my dad's cigar, stayed home from school. I was probably 12. I'm smoking this cigar on the side of our house. Full on cigar. And my neighbor is this old dude, and he walks by and he looks over and sees me and just keeps on walking. And he didn't say anything to my parents, but I'm just what was that guy thinking? He looks over, he sees this young kid smoking a fucking cigar like a CEO. But yeah, so then when I did finally get into weed, it was college.
Oh, wow.
And it was so nice because I have insane ADHD, and it helps me a lot with that. Yeah.
Does it help you focus your creativity?
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It's kind of like that. People with ADHD, when you take a stimulant, quote unquote, you get more calm.
Yep.
That kind of, you take Adderall or whatever, and all you feel is zen. You don't feel
Yeah.
So that's how I am. I stay away from indicas, and I just blast away on sativas.
Yeah.
And I feel so even keeled.
Yeah. So you smoke? Do you normally smoke indicas during the day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't burn you out? You just get too
Nah.
much energy.
Yeah, I just have so much energy that it brings me, back.
Yeah,
Back, and I get
that's
a lot
great.
of writing done.
I've similar patterns. So when you were in college, what was you didn't start with gravity bongs, I'm assuming, or did you?
Honestly, yeah, dude.
Did you really?
No way.
Oh hell yeah!
way.
Oh hell yeah!
What?
Dude, yeah, my brother and his friends and stuff would just make these wild gravity bongs, and that's the thing, kind of abstinence only upbringing sets you up for going way too hard, way too fast. With drugs or drinking,
sex, anything. I guess. Yeah.
No one talks about drinking, and then the first time you drink, you're drinking out of a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have the worst hangover of your life.
It's just education, like anything else. If people don't understand what they're doing, right? a kid doesn't know if they don't know. Like if they've never been told, hey, like you can just get away with like maybe 2 or 3 shots of this. A kid's just gonna go blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And just get drunk.
Yeah.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's little like keeping people in the dark on purpose about this
Yeah.
is never gonna work out well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Especially because kids are always like, whether it be sex, whether it be anything, kids are gonna fucking find that shit out for sure.
Yeah,
Figure it
of
out for
course.
sure.
You have the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Like sometimes we joke is like how like imagine Stand By Me took place now, it would be like a 30-second movie. Like, you guys want to see a dead body?
yeah.
Whoa! You want to go play Xbox?
Fuck, yeah.
Well, what else is fucking weird you want to look up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's legit though. So you did gravity bongs for your first time.
Yeah.
Pails. And then did you know that it worked? You're like, this is for me.
Oh yeah, I did have that thing where I was like, I don't think I'm high. Because you don't know what it feels like.
Yeah. Right.
You don't know what it's different to and stuff like that. So I was just kind of like, that was really fun. And I'm like having a good night. And man, this music is amazing. And this food, incredible.
Yeah.
But I'm not high.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Right.
a few times later, I was like, oh yeah, every time I've gotten high for sure.
Right. So then you just kept going. And you spent time in Amsterdam. Was that before or after? Like, when did you get the improv comedy bug?
Yeah, that was like right after college. So I moved to LA and was living here for a couple years, and then I got a job in Amsterdam.
So before we went, what did you study in college?
I studied philosophy.
Oh, philosophy. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
Sorry, back to Amsterdam.
Yeah. So
What kind of job did you get in Amsterdam?
so I got a comedy job in Amsterdam. I was working at this like English comedy theater. It's called Boom Chicago, and I was there for 3 years. Wow. It was crazy.
How cool.
Yeah.
You like living out there?
Yeah, I really liked it. It's so crazy because weed is so like exactly what we're talking about. Like it's so open and accepted out there that less people are like going nuts off it. It's all the tourists who show up and are like weed hat and a fucking weed shirt, you know, like stoned Bart Simpson on it, you know.
God, yeah.
I wouldn't mind a Stone Bart Simpson shirt.
Yeah.
Like,
It's all the listeners out there. Honestly, that sounds pretty cool.
no, but I told her. It was the way I was when I got to Amsterdam for the first time. I thought, this is going to be this is it. I can still remember while hearing Poker Face by Lady Gaga. That was my first time. That was the song that was playing when I walked into my first hash bar.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
and I have a good connotation with that song to this day. But you're right. It's like everybody else is just like, whatever, dude.
Yeah. And you go and you're like, this is incredible. Like I ate they have like, edibles out there, and edibles, not for me.
No?
They stay with me for weeks. I swear to God, I never lose that feeling.
Really?
And yeah, I ate this like space cake, and it was like actually good. So I made the mistake of being like, this cake tastes good. I'm going to keep eating, and ate so much of it.
Yeah.
It was just like in a video game mentally. I was just like on my bike. I was like, I get extra points over here.
And how long were you in Amsterdam?
For 3 years, yeah.
3 years, sorry.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And then you came back to LA and then started working the improv and stand-up circuit here?
Yeah, exactly. So I did that, and then I came back, and I do a lot of stuff with the Upright Citizens Brigade.
Yeah.
And then I got the job at College Humor.
Yeah. Where do Upright Citizens Brigade? Did they have like a place that they function out of, or
Yeah.
it's because they're pretty famous?
Yeah.
Like,
They have 2 theaters in New York, 2 in LA.
Wow.
I used to live right by the one on,
Yeah.
was that on Sunset?
Yeah.
Terrible neighborhood.
Is it a bad neighborhood?
Terrible. Awful.
Yeah. Is it? Are you just saying that as a joke?
My house got broken into like 3 times, dude.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh,
neighborhood's
no way.
crazy.
Oh, my God.
That neighborhood's crazy.
It really is. Like off Serrano and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
it's really crazy.
I got out of there.
Not to bring the mood down, but I heard like when people get arrested, like homeless people who are having like a psychological break, they get arrested, they get put in a tank, they have to sit there for like 24 hours, and then of course they have to release them. Like they're not going to put them in jail.
Yeah.
But there are drop-off spots all around the city that they just like mass drop people off at, and one of them is there.
That's why there's
That's why
there's
there's
always
such a
that kind of
high.
encampment of that. Yeah.
Yes, there's so much like fucking activity going on
Yeah.
there, and it's just like people getting
Jesus.
dropped off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, there's got to be a better way to handle
there
that.
for
That's
sure
like
is a better
the most
way.
flawed system
Yeah.
I've ever heard of.
Yeah. It's just like catch and release.
Yeah, exactly. And then like
Yeah.
concentrating the people who
Yeah.
are already like, needing help
issues.
so
I'm
much.
I'm pretty sure that's the
Yeah.
definition of systematic segregation.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
it is.
Insane.
Wow. America, like, and I don't mean to, like, I love it here, but definitely has a lot of work to do on their mental health game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fucking wild.
On a lot of stuff.
Not that Canada's
our
perfect.
everything game.
Yeah. We got a number of games going on.
Hey, you guys are really good at like music and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Comedy and all this other
Fucking
things.
jazz. What else?
Jazz, The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Seinfeld. You're really better at making Seinfeld than we were.
Was there a Canadian Seinfeld? I would do anything to watch that.
It's called Soonfield.
Soonfield. Holy shit, dude.
Soonfeld, sorry.
Sorry.
It's a show about sorry, eh? A show about sorry. Now I can't even use A properly. I'm fucking losing it. No, but yeah, I mean, you guys got Seinfeld. We got a better mental health game.
Speaking of, like politics and everything going on in America, I feel like that's definitely what I use. Currently, my relationship with weed is like I get to relax, but also I love watching, especially on like YouTube and stuff, a lot of like interviews with people that I just know I'm gonna disagree with.
Yeah.
Because it feels like, okay, good. I'm like keeping tabs on like what they're thinking too.
Yeah,
and
I do too.
I love to smoke an insane sativa so that I'm like chill enough to be able to handle like fucking Ben Shapiro talking about how happy he is that he was a virgin when he was married or whatever, And I'm just kind of like, I scroll through and I watch these like honestly really interesting interviews, but that are just like so inflammatory. The only way I would be able to watch them is like
Is to be
with
stoned.
mental space and to be stoned and like
Watch
say
an insane person
Exactly.
speak out loud to the world like that, and you just, I need to smoke this first.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So I can get to know the enemy.
It feels very
right?
futuristic. Yeah,
I wish I had done CNN and Fox News on split screen at home.
Oh, man.
Because it's like it's funny because I'll watch both of it. Like I
Clockwork Orange or something. It's just torture. Like,
I flip through Al Jazeera, BBC. I flip through Al Jazeera, BBC, CBC, Fox, and CNN. Sometimes MSNBC, but I feel like CNN and NBC both just do it.
Similar.
They're similar. No, like their point of views are obviously the same point, but I feel like they all just kind of mimic. Like Fox just changed the game. They're like, Fox has the best ratings. We better put hot people on an afternoon too. Like Wolf Blitzer's days are numbered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And they just do it like that shitty kind of reporting, that pundit reporting. They do it just not as well as Fox.
Yeah.
And I mean, I agree. Like, obviously, I'm like a left-leaning human being. I'm especially socially and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to get into that shit.
Yeah.
But Fox you're just like, oh, these guys are just scrupulous. You're like, they don't give a fuck. And the problem is that these people don't give a fuck at all. And I don't mean to offend anybody, but I think people who are kind of a bit more, sympathetic to like social causes and things like that are essentially just kind of like a bit more like, the conservatives would call them like bleeding hearts, like, you fucking pussy.
Totally,
that kind of shit.
snowflakes.
And I think because that's the tent, like they are a bit, they're less ruthless. You know what I mean? Like they seem to be less ruthless. And so the ruthless are always going to be able to do a ruthless job better than the less ruthless.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like in every...
I thought about it like that.
Yeah.
In every movie, the bad guy is not humanitarian. They're just like, they don't give a fuck. And they're like, So it's like the good guys have even a higher,
Thank God that weed makes people a lot of money, or the whole fucking conversation would be null and void. But what is nice about the whole weed thing is that it does, and I've said this before, probably on the show, I sometimes repeat myself because I believe in some of this stuff. And a lot of it, and most things I say I do.
I believe in some of the stuff I say.
believe in some, this weed thing, I believe in some of it. Yeah, fuck, the whole doctor fucking shit. Now I lost my fucking point. I lost my train of thought. And I'm not even that stoned. Yes, I remembered it. I think weed doesn't make everybody more thoughtful, but it makes a lot of people more thoughtful. And I think it's a really good thing that all these people are going to get into it just for the money. And they'll probably be like, I'll fucking try it. Because I think a lot of people who might need a dose of thoughtful are going to try weed as it becomes more regulated.
Yes.
And the world is going to, slowly become a little bit more thoughtful. Or maybe I'm just way too optimistic.
And not even on that tip, like Al Harrington.
Yeah.
He just would have never tried it because it just wasn't in his world. You know what I mean? And then it became a part of his world. It became in his
Totally
through his mom and all that. And I'm going to try this.
Is there a lot of? Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were. No. I was going to try this. Go on, but no, please.
I'm done.
No, you're not done.
I'm done, man. Whatever, bro. Done. Moment's over.
I'm sorry. I wrecked it.
Sorry.
Fuck, dude. Is the weed culture pretty big at the College Humor head office? Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, we're definitely in the group of like startups or
yeah.
kind of like what is it? Just entertainment, new media, and stuff like that. I think weed is definitely in there. I guess like on the like business side of it, I'm not quite sure.
Because College Humor must be massive by now.
Yeah.
Like what's the head office? Is it a pretty
really big company? Yeah, we're here and we're in New York too. So,
right? Yeah.
So yeah, but it is cool to know. Yeah, I don't want to say like secret handshake, but it is fun when you find out like someone in a superior position also smokes weed, and you're just kind of
Right.
like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. Oh, you brought a pen to this like weird work,
Whoa,
thing,
yeah.
and it's like, hell yeah, like let's
Nice.
go.
Yeah.
Nice. How much content are like? I guess College Humor like you did 2 shows, but you're just doing the one show, Paranoia, right now, right? And
Yeah.
And you're working on a second season theoretically. Like you think you're
Yeah,
gonna
we are. Yeah, we
Oh,
actually are. We announced it and everything. So
Oh,
we're gonna
okay.
make another student loan season.
Oh, you're so total
gonna be
forgiveness.
crazy.
Total forgiveness.
Yeah.
So you're still working on that debt.
Still working on that debt, baby. We got maybe a third of my debt out.
So are you gonna start at 6 low again for it?
What's that?
Like you're gonna start at $600 again? Like you're gonna start low and then
I
move up?
think. I
Or do you
mean,
get to start at
hopefully we're
10,000?
gonna up it. Oh my
Yeah.
god, if we start it, talk to my supervisor. I hope the first one should be for 10 grand. It's, yeah, and then we also make sketches. That's like
That's the bread. Like that's what they're known for.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah. So we'd make like 4 sketches a week. We're
Really?
making those constantly and making these other new shows.
So you're just like, do you ever just like feel tapped? Because you just got to be constantly writing and writing and writing and writing and writing.
Well, that's the fun part is like, I think when I first came into the job, I had all these like ideas banked and I was kind of like writing off of that. And now I've fully caught up to myself. So it really is a lot more like lucid. It's cool to work at a place where it's like, what idea do you have? Okay, let's make it. So that's, you get to push yourself and actually see.
And so are you guys producing from the level of like writing, producing, editing? Like what's the size of the crew that you're working with on one of those projects?
We pretty much, we do the writing and then we do the acting in it.
Okay.
And then we have like editors, producers, all of that.
Same guys,
directors.
same crew you're always using? It's like
Yeah. Well, it rotates a lot. We like to like reach out to the LA community and see like who likes working with who, get new director names and cycle in some people.
And that's a good way to find talent and things like that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's great. I feel like I've met so many people through this job of like, especially, we were trying to be more inclusive and get more people in that aren't usually seen of like, cis straight white man and bring in a lot of different people. So that's been tight.
When you're writing, like, because like you said, you caught up to all your old ideas and had to keep going new. So how does that work? You guys get together and kind of riff off each other, or stream of consciousness is like, how does that work? I just don't.
You got to come in
seen that.
each Monday. We come in with like 5 ideas, and what I do usually is like I have like a note in my phone where I'm just kind of like writing little things that come up or something that I find is like funny, like like the Proud Boys, that group. Their fucking signature shirt is a shirt that I own. That yellow and black Fred Perry.
It's a dope shirt.
I've had that shirt forever. That is like a punk shirt, like
it's
fuckers,
super punk rock, dude. Yeah.
And
Gavin
so,
McInnes, that
yes,
motherfucker.
Yeah.
He was like the punk guy advice. Do you know who like the store this dude?
Oh yeah.
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 And so, I saw that and I was just kind of like, man, like, can I still wear that shirt? Or like, is it more punk that I still wear it? Or, this whole like thought. So I wrote that down. I'll probably pitch that on Monday,
That is a good one.
It's, a
great
That's
one.
like
with
that.
that.
I got to the point right now, like I'm like that the black and yellow, because it like there's a lot of Proud Boys fucking activity in Toronto area. Oh. Yeah. Because I think I don't know if it started here in Canada or it started in Canada, but I mean it caught on. There's a bunch of that kind of fucking nonsense.
Don't claim it.
I'm not.
It's not a good look.
I'm not. But yeah, you guys got Seinfeld. Well, we got the Proud Boys.
We got great food, the Proud Boys, the Raptors.
Poutine and the Proud Boys.
Yeah. We're just getting all the pieces.
Did you see Fred Perry came out and made a public statement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you?
Yo, this ain't your shirt.
Yes.
Yeah. But even when there's black and yellow, items of clothing now, I hesitate. I'm like, "Ew."
Yeah, same with red hats.
must have
Red
really-
hats with white text
that-
on
yeah.
them. I'm like,
That must have really bummed out the band Striper. All black.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well,
80s
like I
reference.
come from a city where all the colors are black and gold, so it's getting harder to figure out. You know, Hamilton Tiger. Yeah, all of our sports teams are black and gold.
oh wow.
What are you gonna do? You know.
That's so how I feel right now. With all the news, I'm just like, well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Alabama's wilding out again.
Oh,
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, don't go to Alabama.
Yeah, fuck.
That's
Good God.
That's pretty crazy. So after Amsterdam, you're there for 3 years.
Yeah.
You come back, you get into the Upright Citizens Brigade. What's the last part of that? Upright Citizens Brigade? Is it just
Yeah.
Brigade, yeah.
And then what is it called? What's the
Brigade.
Brigade? I thought you said
Upright Citizens Brigade.
Didn't I not say that?
No, never mind. It sounded like you were a little confused of whether or not it was Brigade.
No,
we also call it UCB. You know,
UCB,
that
yeah,
is
yeah.
easier.
It used to be.
No, just because I'm trying to get your timeline down. Because the point of the fucking show, Ephraim. You've just gone off the rails, buddy.
Whoa.
You know, speaking of UCB, actually, there's a lot of great weed shows there
Really?
that I've
Really?
gotten to do. Yeah, there's a show called I'm Too Effin' High, and it's also a podcast here in LA. But they do a live show where they have like everyone involved in the show is like ripped high, and I've been on that a couple times. So you
Nice.
come out and they have you do like, you know, performances, or they like hand you a card that has one word on it, and you
Oh,
just have to
wow.
do stand up like on the spot off that word.
You know what? One of the first nights here, I was like, I should IG fucking Ali and ask
Yeah.
where we should go to see an improv thing. And I was, fuck. I should've done
Totally.
that
Oh my
next
God.
time.
Yeah. Next time, please hit me up. Yeah.
Do you still do a lot of live improv and stuff like that? Do you have time?
I do actually. Yeah, and I don't have time, but but I still do it. I do once a week. I have a show at UCB, and
Really?
then I
Ooh.
do some extra shows and stuff when I get put on them. Especially like stuff like this weed show, where I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds fun.
It's perfect. And
It's like at midnight you can smoke in the theater. I'm not supposed to say that, but
that's cool.
you get there and all of a sudden everyone's lighting up, and it's just like a hot box.
Really?
And it's like a talk show. It's amazing. It's like the coolest weed talk show ever.
we gotta step up our game.
You guys get in on it. You guys got a code. I was
Yeah,
sure they would
yeah.
love to have you. You guys.
Yeah,
got
that would be
them.
awesome. That's really cool.
That dude's
Are you
sick.
still doing a lot of stand up?
No, you know what? I did some stand up, and then now I'm just like I have a job writing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like anything I would have for stand up, I could just make into a sketch, and I'm
Right.
being like paid to do that. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go in that route. But
Yeah.
maybe once I'm done with that job, if I go somewhere else, maybe I'll go back to stand up.
You seem to, I think from our first conversation, you were a bit more gravitated towards the improv anyway, weren't you?
Yeah, totally.
You like the acting and things like that?
Yeah, I love it, and also stand up is like. I have a lot of friends who do stand up. It's so solitary. Like
Yeah.
you go to the open mic alone, no one talks because everyone's. It kind of attracts a little bit more of like a person who's like fuck you, I'm funny,
Right.
like
Oh, yeah?
divisive versus improv is like a team.
Yeah.
So you go to open mics alone.
Because the nature of improv is to make whoever's on stage look better, right?
Exactly.
That's what you're supposed to
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
You're
It's
supposed to feed them,
very
right?
Positive, very collaborative, and that's
Yeah.
so my like speed and like where I want to
Right.
be. And stand up is very like solo. And all your jokes kind of start to turn to be about how alone you are, and then you're just like stuck in this cycle of like, I go to an open mic alone, I go home alone, I write jokes about being alone to go tell alone at the open mic. It's just like this sad ass cycle, and you're like, I gotta break out.
Yeah. Wow. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's why a lot of guys like a lot of guys I know back home, they kind of get. I mean, comedy's stricken with depression and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right? Do you see a lot of that with what you do?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and I have friends who definitely smoking weed helps with depression
Really?
for them. Yeah. I haven't really felt that. I feel like when I'm depressed, I gotta like hit the brakes on everything and just kind of approach it completely sober. But that's just what I found for myself. But with ADHD, I'm like, no, give me. Weed is so much better than the fucking like speed that they prescribe you for ADHD.
Were you prescribed that stuff as
Oh
as a
yeah.
young?
Not young, like after college and stuff.
Oh,
I
fuck.
just had like undiagnosed ADHD my whole life and was like, why like all my grades are horrible and I'm always late. It's like, that's just me.
And they are literally prescribing speed for
They
that.
literally,
to everybody.
And so when I came here,
insane.
it was so freaky actually. I went into the doctor, they gave me like, Adderall or whatever it was. I started taking it, and then I was in New York with like 3 of my best friends on a trip, and I just kept thinking like, this is fun, but like not feeling it. Like it felt like there was like a plane of glass between me and the world, like very disconnected. And then I went back to the doctor and was like, it felt wrong, like this was wrong and this was wrong. And she's like, okay, well, we had you take a survey when you first came in, and I filled out the survey, and she's like, and you were reporting that like you were more on top of your deadlines and you were like higher functioning and this and this. And I was like, yeah, but I'm telling you, like my soul is not okay, And she kept pushing the issue that like it was helping me. Like, it was so scary.
Keep doing these pills.
Yes. And I was just like, I'm absolutely done. Like, so now I'm trying to, figure out if I have like some huge deadline coming up and I'm feeling like exceptionally scattered, I'll take like half of whatever their dosage was every 2 days or something like that. But honestly, weed has helped me so much more.
What do you use to like strain specifics and stuff like that? Do you
Oh yeah. I love anything sour, like a sour diesel or something like that is like exactly what I go for.
And you find that those are the strains kind of help you more focus throughout the day, kind of thing.
Yeah, like maybe more of an indica for me. Something just like high THC straight to my brain, and I'm like, hell yeah, like this is great.
Oh, I think we're gonna find so many benefits. Like THC is always kind of like the stepchild you don't talk to kind of thing, or whatever that phrase is. But I think as we learn more, we're gonna find so many more medicinal benefits of THC, not just CBD.
Yeah.
Because there is.
Although CBD,
it's
honey,
great.
life-changing.
100%. I'm not saying I just like the.
But
high
I know what you mean. We're gonna push further.
Yeah. Like the it's. I mean, it's not for everybody and things like that. But the people that it does help, it really can help the THC, and especially for like breakthrough pain and shit like that. It's remarkable. But that's really interesting. That's the second person that has said that, and I've heard that again about when somebody takes stimulants and they have ADHD, that it actually has a reversed effect, and they're like they get mellow. That's super
Totally.
interesting too. I wonder. I'd love to do some reading on that. Have you ever studied any of that or more? Like, I do know people who will crush like a line of cocaine. It happens, people. Like, we live in a world that people do cocaine.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And I've seen many people who are just like, shh, I'm like, that person's gonna be insane on blow. It's gonna be a nightmare. And then they actually just kind of like sit in the corner.
Yes, they zen out. I mean, honestly, doing a line of cocaine is not far from what you do when you take, a 60 milligram or like a 20 milligram Adderall.
Seriously?
I have a friend who takes 3 20s a day. That's 60 of Adderall, which is crazy. I'm like, that's wild.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's so much synthetic material going through you.
Yeah.
But I haven't really researched why I'm so drawn to indicas.
Yeah. Well, it's just working for you, so why would you? And you're busy and you're successful and you're doing your like a dream job. What comes next for you? What's like, say once the college humor contract's done, and like where would you like to see your career going?
Yeah, man. I mean, well, it's so nice to work at College Humor because I get to like pop away and do stuff. So just worked on like a feature where I played a stripper, which is hilarious.
Really? Cool. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah.
And working on like some other like, projects and stuff like that. So it's fun to kind of like still keep in touch with people who are casting. And then once this job wraps up, if it does, although I'm pretty sure I'll still have a relationship with College Humor where I like come in and do shows and stuff. But
it goes, you got a good, it's working well for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think the dream is to like write a TV show that's like insanely queer, but without that being the only thing about it,
Yeah.
Like it's a TV show about people who all happen to be queer.
It's pronounced The Boot.
It's a boot, a queer show, a boot. It's like you knew I wanted to write a Canadian show, right? So I'm gonna need your help with the tone and the words.
No problem. We've been a lot more chill with queer culture for a while, so that's another one we got.
Maybe translate.
Yeah.
No, but that is
in both languages.
I do agree that often like gay entertainment or queer entertainment, it focuses in on that so much, and you just want to normalize it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, so I think that's probably the dream right now.
Yeah, like are you putting that together? Do you?
Yeah.
You just sit.
That's
cool.
I feel like your room's like a beautiful mind of ideas.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like scribbled papers.
Yeah.
If someone found my room, they'd think I'm like a serial killer. It's just like scribbled notes, like postcards hung up, like, you know, yeah.
That's so cool.
Well, we're running out of time.
Yeah.
This was fucking super fun.
This was great. It was great to meet both of you guys. Yeah, I had a really good time.
Yeah. I would love to. Let's keep hanging out. Let's be friends.
Yes,
That's awesome.
totally.
Yes.
Ali Beardsly, thank you for telling us how you got into the weeds.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you so
Have a good day.
This episode was presented by Podguide and WikiLeaf. Please follow ITW on Twitter and Instagram at GetIntoTheWeeds. You can follow Ben Rispin at Ben Rispin. You can follow Ephraim Martinez Schulz at F by Stereo. And me, Bubba Nicholson at Bubba Nicholson. ITW's theme music was written by Jacob Bergsma of My Son the Hurricane. Visit them at www.msthofficial.com. Special thanks to our friends at Puff Digital, Program Skate and Sound, and the Slide Bar in Fullerton, Orange County. Sound engineering provided by Roman Marconi at Halo Studios Hamilton. ITW was created by Ben Rispin and is produced by Master Volume.